The day has come when a new ruler has been bestowed and given the approval by the heavens after many prestigious days of deciding who will have the responsibility for the lives of the empire. Finally, the new emperor was chosen by the mandate of heaven as the son of heaven for the Shang dynasty. The kingdom held many nobles and royal members celebrating the crowning of their new emperor. A giant feast was set out and many people were already enjoying wine. The clinking of cups and laughter celebrated with the men. Through the bright cheering, a rumble blasted through the air and interrupted them. Trying to from the quaking, the new emperor Jian Ming rushed towards the entryway of his palace. Water from the great river near the dynasty had risen and was pushing its way through the villages, taking everything in its path. Once the shaking and the water stopped, all the villagers of the dynasty came together near the previously active river. The horrible effect of the river's flood sparked a conflict within the villagers. The people knew it was a sign. It happened on the day of their new emperor's crowning. How can this be? The day our new emperor is crowned is the day that everything goes wrong, the citizen spoke. Jian Ming was shocked by what he was hearing and outraged about the disaster that hit on the day of his big celebration.
This greatly angered the gods. A voice boomed towards Jian Ming.
How can you be so ungrateful of the river's flood? I, Taiyi, the god of the sea, has blessed your land with a river and its great soil. How dare you take such things for granted? This was a gift to your crowning, and you have questioned my work.
Jian Ming and the villagers frantically looked around for the voice.
Don't you recognize the great gifts that I have created for you? You, the emperor, who is chosen by the very god of heaven himself. I have watched many dynasties grow and have seen them flourish exceedingly because of this great river. Each and every emperor has dwelled in a giant feast every year because of the fertile soil and the river has brought. And yet you dare to take this river for granted. I have seen you all unhappy with the river's gift. Since you all grumble and moan about the river, then I shall make this true for you disgraceful humans. I shall curse this river and with horrible floods that would destroy not only one village, but hundreds,
Taiyi proclaimed. Before Jian Ming could respond, he heard screams and gasps below. The water from the river was rising once more. It was rising higher and higher. The water was increasing at an unnatural pace, and if it rose any higher, it would reach the destroyed villages. The water made its way towards the village. Jian Ming ran towards the river and used his mighty sword to deflect the water onto a different path. He quickly dug another path with one side of his sword, hoping to lead the flood to a different path. Jian Ming's swift actions changed the flood's direction and calmed the water. The heavens have sent us a message. This river was our warning. The mandate of heaven has made a mistake. The emperor is unworthy. The statement sparked agreement within the dynasty, but what was quieted down when Jian Ming wanted to clear his name.
I am not the one to blame. I have saved us from this flood, and I will do it again. This won't be the last one. More and more floods will come our way, and will keep coming until the whole dynasty is destroyed. People of Shang Dynasty, I know what you are thinking, but it's not what it seems. I, the Son of Heaven, will speak to the gods to ask them for mercy to this unreasonable curse. I shall set out on a journey to ask the gods of their forgiveness.
Jian Ming declared as he set off in a journey to the heavens in the finest armor made of bronze, along with the best of weapons in the dynasty. A servant ran up to Jian Ming and informed him of a well-known oracle that has never failed to see the future to aid him in his quest.
An oracle? Where must I go find him?
Jian Ming questioned. It is told that he lives in a cave protected by a monster. The cave is located near the bottom of the mountain south of our dynasty, the servant explained. To get to the cave, Jian Ming had to travel towards a region that was known to have caused hallucinations and confusion. The few who have survived came out with missing limbs and babbling nonsense. Only the ones who wanted to meet the oracle would step foot in the region and risk meeting confusion. The monster who ate everything and everything that came its way.
Once Jian Ming reached the deadly region, there was no sign of anything unusual. There weren't any trails to lead to his destination, but Jian Ming listened to a voice in his head and traveled towards the direction that was calling to him. He unconsciously walked towards a direction which led him to a cave. The cave was like no other. It was made out of human remains, which meant that the cave belonged to Young Zhu. Jian Ming cautiously walked into the cave, and an unpleasant smell hit his nostrils.
It's I, the great emperor of the Shang Dynasty.
Jian Ming exclaimed. A growl rumbled the cave, and a tongue shot out towards Jian Ming. Jian Ming dodged Yang Zu's slimy tongue, grabbed it, and wrapped it around its head. Jian Ming sliced Yang Zu's hand off. Yang Zu, who eats anything in its path, had found his own hand and ate it, thinking it was the skillful emperor. Jian Ming quickly took the chance to slice off Yang Zu's head, purple liquid spilling everywhere.
No one can defeat me with this mighty sword.
Jian Ming exclaimed. Once Jian Ming had defeated the monster, he was on his way to go meet the mysterious oracle who will show him the way to the gods. As he walked into the cave, he sees an enormous giant sitting on a stool, his back towards Jian Ming and a veil covering the oracle's face. The oracle turned around.
It seems someone has gotten rid of Yongzhu.
I have heard you are the oracle that knows all. I must ask you, how can I find Tai Yi, the god of the sea?
You, a man who is able to hear my callings without losing his mind and mighty enough to defeat the vicious Yongzhu, have earned what you have came for. The god you are looking for is beneath the South China Sea, but to be able to enter his domain, you must possess the lotus of purity. The flower is found in the Chunghua temple. After learning the information that he needed to continue his quest, Jian Ming began to follow the oracle's direction to the temple. The temple was not too far from Yongzhu's cave and was sitting on top of the small hill. As Jian Ming went up the steps, a light voice welcomed him.
Hello, traveler. If you have come to take the lotus of purity, you must solve my riddle to cleanse your mind before handling the lotus.
I will do what you ask. Tell me your riddle.
Here is the riddle. I can follow you for thousands of miles and not miss home. I do not fear cold or fire, and I desire neither food nor drink. But I disappear when the sun sets behind the western mountains. Who am I?
Is it not the clouds?
You have answered incorrectly. Fail 2 more times and you will be exiled from this temple.
Jian Ming paused and thought longer for the correct answer.
Could it be darkness?
You have failed twice. Fail once more and you will not have the chance to possess the lotus of purity.
I see it now. That it's not the clouds nor darkness, but my own shadow.
Traveler, you have solved my riddle. Your mind has been cleansed and you will be gifted with the lotus of purity.
An angelic woman walked out of the temple holding a lotus in her hands. Jian Ming held out his hands to accept the lotus from the beautiful woman.
With this lotus, you will be able to meet with the heavenly beings.
When the flower left his hand, she disappeared back into the temple. Now that Jian Ming possesses the lotus of purity, he can ask the god of the sea for forgiveness. He remembered what the oracle had told him and journeyed to the South China Sea. The sea was vast and dark. Jian Ming knew he had to go into the sea. He walked towards the tide and the lotus glowed. It was protecting him from the water. As Jian Ming descended deeper into the sea, the darker his surroundings became. Jian Ming dove deeper, leaving the lotus the only form of light he had. The sea inhabited many treacherous creatures as Jian Ming headed to where the god of the sea lived. When Jian Ming was at the very bottom of the sea, he was moving closer to a dim light. The moment when Jian Ming was to the light, a voice roared through the water.
Why have you come, human?
Oh, god of the sea, Tai Yi, you have cursed my dynasty, and I ask of you for forgiveness.
I have cursed your dynasty because you are all ungrateful. Your pleas mean nothing to me.
The god brushed him off.
If you will not release the curse on my dynasty, I will have to kill you to stop future tragedies.
Jian Ming exclaimed as he lunged towards Tai Yi with a sword. Tai Yi swiftly moved to the side, but the sword was still able to scrape his arm.
A mere mortal has attacked me. Your dynasty will perish for what you have done. I will not end your life here. I will let you suffer for your mistakes.
Tai Yi proclaimed before he was swallowed by a whirlpool and disappeared.
He left. I must head back to the dynasty and warn everyone.
When he went up to open air, he wasn't on the beach. He was in front of a temple that was surrounded by the most translucent water. There were individual stones leading the way to the temple, but when Jian Ming stepped into the temple, he was met with 4 creatures: a dragon, a phoenix-like bird, a white tiger, and a black tortoise.
Shang Jianming, Emperor of the Shang Dynasty, slayer of Yunshu, friend of the oracle, and the possessor of the lotus of purity. You have been called by the 4 celestial beings for what you have done with the meeting with the god of sea.
The tortoise explained. Jian Ming was in awe of the creatures, but was more shocked when they accused him of doing wrong.
What do you mean for what I have done? All I have done is try to protect my dynasty.
You may have had good intentions, but it doesn't excuse for what you have done to a god.
The dragon said.
Punishment for attacking a god is death.
I attacked the god of the sea to prevent the death of my people.
Since you are so passionate of your dynasty's welfare, we will make a deal with you.
A deal? At such a crucial time?
Here are due, for it may be for what you wish for. We will stop the floods only if you pay with your life. But if you hold your life more dearly to you, live and watch the river bring disaster on your dynasty. Choose wisely, Emperor.
The phoenix explained. Jian Ming did not hesitate to answer.
What kind of deal is this? For what choices you have given me, I will always put my dynasty before me.
Very well, if that is your choice.
It is my choice.
Chill, will you show our guest out?
The phoenix said towards the white tiger. Rong Qiu turned towards Jian Ming, who was too exhausted to fight out with all his strength, gave one last punch to the tiger. Ultimately, Jian Ming was defeated. The tiger had slashed his throat.
The river stopped rising a few days after the emperor had left, and the villagers have never complained about the great river ever again. It was no coincidence. Everyone knew that their new emperor had sacrificed his life for their safety, and to honor and wish him well in the afterlife. They laid food of all sorts in front of his portrait so he could feast on them, once more in hope that he will protect the kingdom in the afterlife. A celebration was set every 8th day of the 8th month of the lunar calendar to honor the brave emperor, Jian Ming, for many dynasties to come.